please stand and join me for a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. We'll remain standing as we acknowledge anyone in our Rotary family that we should keep in our thoughts. Anyone? Okay. Just take a moment, think of someone close to you, and send them some good thoughts. Okay, thank you. You may be seated. All right. As you can see, we don't have a piano on stage to sing to our guests today, but we will welcome our guest today, and I believe Jenny Legates has a guest. Where is Jenny? Right here.
I'd like to introduce my guest, Cassie Benning-Luz, who is the Development Director at the Ames Public Library Friends Foundation, and she now has a membership application.
Anyone else with a guest?
If you want to grab that mic. And then we do have some guests of the club today, which you'll hear from in a little bit. We have Ella Turk and Eric Shoesmith from Cyclone Racing. If you guys wouldn't wave your hand back there, we'll hear from them in just a few minutes. Excited to hear that. And Roxanne Peterson with NAMI Central Iowa. So thank you for coming today. And since we don't have Louie here, we'll just maybe skip the welcome song for today, if that's all right. Yeah, that's a good. No, Glenn, if you pipe up, I'm giving you the microphone. So, all right, okay. Let's do before we get to the slides, let's do a quick brag bucket. So if I could get Glenn and Jenny to help out, and let's get out some of those dollars and let's hear what you got going on.
Glenn, here.
All right. Let's hear it.
Some weeks ago, I made the announcement about the 39th program we had at the Ames United Church of Christ on a theologian in residence. We had that this past weekend, and want to say, I'm mentioning it because I saw a number of you did attend. John Pavlovic, who's a well-known blogger with over 100 million people who have blogged, and he just had come out with his new book, which I'm going to mention. I have it here. He was at the Memorial Union on a Thursday night and packed the sunroom, and they ran out of copies of his new book. He did a program on compassion fatigue at the church. We had sessions there, and they were all, we had over 300 people, and we had online, we had people from 16 different states. So to say the least, it's quite a program. And by the way, in this book, Worth Fighting For, Finding Courage and Compassion When Cruelty is Trending, he has, I think, a remarkable chapter on what in America is worth fighting for. And so anyway, and guess what? We hope this week to be able to announce next year our 40th anniversary. But thank you all for attending.
Thank you.
Money first. Yes. You got to put money in first.
She hangs on to the bucket till the money is in there.
Yep, money first, then microphone.
Well, this is a $20 brag.
Oh.
So my grandson, Henry Byrne, he's 15, from Woodbury, Minnesota. And a couple weekends ago, on a whim, he went to a power lifters meet with his dad. And he's a big kid. And my son married a tall 6-foot Swede girl from Minnesota. So Henry ended up breaking the national title weights in 4 categories for a 15-year-old.
Wow.
I'm sure he got that from his grandfather, you know.
Portion of my winnings. Ken, you'll like this one. So, Jamie Courtney, Iowa Homecrafters. One of my hobbies is playing pool, and it's a gentleman's game. There are those guys out there that are not gentlemen, but took fourth place in advanced team this weekend down in Des Moines at the Iowa State Pool Players Association. So, just wanted to brag about that.
Well done.
Congratulations.
This is another $20 brag about one of my 3 younger brothers. His name is Peter. He just retired. I just came back from his retirement party in Baltimore, and I always knew he was loved by his patients, and he had an outstanding reputation for healing. But I had no idea of how much good he did in this world as a physician. He was a gastroenterologist and an internist both. And I learned during his retirement party he performed 20,000 colonoscopies without one perforation.
Wow.
It's totally unheard of. Without 20,000 colonoscopies. My other brothers were trying to figure out how many miles that would all add up to by adding it all together, and it was hilarious. But they did that at his retirement party. Also, the governor gave him a one-of-a-kind award as the most outstanding clinician in the state of Maryland. I am so proud of my brother.
Okay. Got one over here. Oh, you got
Money first. Like, you know I'm good for it. I'm Lynn Carey, and this is less of a brag and more of a thank you. I just want to say thank you again for the partnership with KHOI Community Radio. We rebroadcast programs on air and expand the audience that gets to hear all of the great things that happen in this room. And it's really a great way to build community. So thank you.
Hi there, Ashley Thompson with the United Way of Story County. So April is National Volunteer Month, and I want to brag on our volunteers. So United Way, we partner with the Ivy College at Iowa State, and we offer the VITA program, so that's Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. So we have all kinds of volunteers who work with our lower income friends and neighbors to make sure that their taxes are filed. And today, especially since it is tax day, today's the day. We've had close to 425, I think that's where we'll end at the end of today, 425 individuals in our community who we helped submit their taxes, both state and federal, the youngest being age 16, the oldest is 96. So just very proud. This is all volunteer based, and just really proud of our volunteers and the hours that they put in.
This is more of an announcement versus a brag, but I do want to thank all of you that have signed up so far to volunteer at the Special Olympics opening ceremonies. If you'd like to volunteer, I have sign-up sheets over on the table over here. I need your name, your email, or some other contact, and then I also need your date of birth. And so those that have already contacted me to participate, I've reached out again saying I need a little bit more information, but hope you'll consider.
I'm going to do a Green Hills marketing pitch. Green Hills is doing an expansion project. The groundbreaking's about to happen. We got really good bids with Story Construction. So a lot of you, as I look around, are potential candidates for a place like Green Hills. So take a look. There's a chance with a bunch of units. I happen to be sitting with Krista, who's the manager out there now. I'm sure she'd be glad to visit with anybody who has an interest. So we look forward to expanding Green Hills.
Okay.
Gotta be more.
Sorry.
Katie should have a.
That's all right. We'll take an IOU.
Yes, thank you, Karen. I know, sorry, fake money, but I promise I'll make good on it. Yeah, so we moved our office. So I don't know if everyone knows, but I own the Express Employment Professionals here in Ames, and we cover Boone, Story City. We have a large territory anyway, all the way up to Fort Dodge. And we just, after 8 years, moved our office. We've always been down on South Duff and in a pretty tiny little spot that was cozy and great, but we just expanded to a much larger facility, which has been wonderful. We're up in Northern Lights now, and I have lots of room, and I have a coffee maker, so if anybody ever wants to stop by, we'd love to have you.
That's for her.
Oh, thanks.
I don't know, that was a bigger brag than that.
Thanks, Mark. Thank you, Jenny and Glenn. Appreciate that. All right. Just some other announcements here. Iowa State University Out of the Darkness Suicide Awareness Walk. Information's there. They do have a webpage associated with that. So please sign up and participate if you can in a couple Saturdays. Hopefully the weather will cooperate like it did this past weekend. As Lisa mentioned, there's sign-ups on the back for Special Olympics. So if you have some time that evening, Thursday, May 16th, please go sign up to help. That would be great. And then we also still looking for some RSVPs on the our first mental health first aid training session that we're going to be hosting here on Monday, May 13th. If you have any questions, find myself, Karen, or one of the other board members, and looking for some folks to come participate. That'd be great. All right. Well, I'm going to ask if Roxanne Peterson will come up to the mic from NAMI and give us a few minutes of her time to talk about the grant.
All right. Everybody hear me okay? I just want to say thank you for having me. I am very new to Story County, and so I'm kind of learning new faces and names and really getting acclimated. And so this is a really nice opportunity for me to be able to meet new people. So this is super exciting, so thank you. I'm here also to report on a grant that we had received from the Rotary Club. And so if some of you don't know, we have what's called a Wellness Recovery Center that's located on 424 Fifth Street here in Ames. And with the grant that we received, and I apologize, I don't have a slideshow, so I have pictures here. But with the grant that we received, we were able to do quite a bit in our wellness center. And so before I share what we had purchased with the grant money, the Wellness Center is actually designed and set up for folks who are suffering either from serious mental illnesses or just, and I'm not saying one's worse than the other, but maybe it's even someone with just something like anxiety. Maybe their goal is to come in because they have social anxiety and they don't really want to go out into the community. And so we have peer support there that are trained to be able to walk alongside individuals, to be able to support them with their needs and what their goals are. And so the process of that is if someone is interested in coming to the Wellness Center, we always open it up for a tour. So we want to welcome anyone here, maybe someone that you know, if you know they need a service like that, bring them on in. Doors are open Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 9 to 4, and they can get a small tour to kind of get a feel for what's going on in the Wellness Center to see if it's a place for them, if that's where they would like to be. And let's just say that the Wellness Center isn't for them, and they're looking for something else. Maybe the families, when they come in, they realize, maybe my significant other or my family member is in need of something a little bit more, then we'll be able to set them up with services outside of the Wellness Center as well. So with that, what we were able to purchase was 2 laptops for our computer center. We actually bought a desk for the computer center, tables, also some office chairs, some mouse pads. We were actually able to get 2 L-shaped desks, which has been really nice because one of those desks holds a bunch of our resources. So if you have resources that you want individuals who come through the Wellness Center to be aware of, please bring those in. We have a lot of new staff, including myself, that are not as well acclimated with Story County, and we want to be able to be equipped enough to be able to support all the folks that do come through our doors. We also have business card holders. We bought a bunch of brochures, brochure stands, just all the things to be able to support our programming through there. So as I'll kind of show you, this is the area over in the corner if you were to come in. And so these laptops have been used quite a bit. Folks come in, maybe if they came in if they were homeless, we're able to help search through the internet to help them maybe find apartments, help them seek funding for those apartments. We work a lot with the Bridge Home. We kind of share folks back and forth, so that's been a really nice addition to be able to support individuals, to be able to come there during the day and look for things like that. It could be an application for Social Security. It could be for food stamps, really for anything that supports them. It's really about what their needs are. Some of the folks have came in to stay in touch with family and friends that maybe don't have access to the internet, don't have cell phones. I can tell you one particular situation we had was a young lady that had just gotten out of jail, and she had no way to get back home, and she didn't have any way to get a hold of anybody. And so sitting and talking with her, we were able to use the computer to be able to get in touch with some people. So it really has been kind of nice to have those there and to have that as a resource. Our peer staff are there Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays. And so a lot of times they will have folks that come in that are interested in becoming program leaders. And so we have actually used those computers for individuals that want to become those program leaders and do trainings in there as well. So it really has just been a very useful grant for us, and it's something we didn't have before. So I just want to say thank you to all of you that have made that possible. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to partnering with you in the future. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Roxanne. All right. Well, I have the pleasure of introducing two Iowa State University students who are going to come up and talk about the Cyclone Racing Formula SAE. Did I get that right? Okay, they're nodding their heads up and down, so that I must have got that right. And they're going to talk about the car they are building to race this summer. So, Ella and Eric, why don't you come on up, and we're excited to hear what you have to say.
You're down here and I'm up here. You can make that work.
Yeah.
So, I guess, do you want to kick it off?
You got it.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Eric, and this is Ella with Cyclone Racing. It's a club at Iowa State University. We're basically a club where we design and build a race car every year from the ground up, but it's more than that too. So it's outreach and fundraising and project management, everything like that. So we're just going to tell you a bit about it. Hope you guys can get a bit of a context for what we do and things like that. So yeah, overall, this is a picture of our first group of members. We've been around for about 30 years now. And yeah, these are some of the questions that we'll be answering today for you. So yeah, do you want to take that?
Yeah, so with Formula SAE, our primary goal is to learn. There's lots of different ways that we can learn. There's engineering ways that we can learn, such as our modeling software that we use with SolidWorks and running simulations of our car to see how air works, see how everything is going to work within vehicle dynamics. And then there is also business ways that we can help. So getting sponsors, expanding our networks, learning how to talk to professionals. This club is just a really great way to learn a bunch of skills that are going to be very, very necessary for us after we graduate college. So this is a great way to prepare for that. We compete at Michigan every single year, and that is our main competition with 120 other teams that are there, other universities. And so we have to design a car every year, present how we do that, why we do it, how we get funding, just a really big thing. So that is what we do.
Yeah, so a little bit about the team here. We are comprised of about 140 dues-paying members this year. That's really grown in recent years. We used to be around 20 to 40 people, really trying to amp that up and get more people involved on all sides of the club. So that breaks down into 31 elected engineers, 7 leads, and 2 directors. We kind of divide and conquer between every subsystem of the vehicle. So if you're thinking about the suspension or the chassis or the aerodynamics or any other part of the car, we have people who are dedicating massive amounts of their time to learning as much as they can about these topics to make as effective as a race car as possible. So we really play all roles in a proper business as well. So beyond the engineering technical side, we're doing all of our own fundraising, managing funds, things like that. We'll break that down a little bit more in the future. But you can see it works on your hard and soft skills a lot as students here. So yeah, this is how we're broken down. You can see those are kind of the main components of the car, as well as a picture of our team. So yeah, some non-engineering topics.
Yes, so this is kind of what I do on the team. We have a lot of different outreach events. So in the fall, there's a lot more. There's about 20. And that's mostly working with people that are coming into Iowa State as freshmen or people touring, thinking about coming to Iowa State. That also continues in the spring with like Admitted Students Day, things like that. We also work with WISE a lot to get young women into our club and learn about STEM. We also do just like elementary and high school visits. We're about to do one in a couple weeks, so that's great to get a lot of young kids involved with STEM and excited about things that have to do with cars and engineering. We also do a lot of design within the business team, so we have marketing and we work with Trademark to get things such as our polos and other competition uniforms. And we also have somebody that designs our vehicle livery that is a design student. She's great. This really helps promote the club and just gives us a really clean look with all the design that goes into that. And then we also have club events. So we have alumni days and days for our sponsors, just a lot of really fun things that we put on throughout the year.
I'm actually going to a high school to talk about the club tomorrow, doing the same presentation, so yeah. Some engineering topics. I have some fun colors for you guys. I don't know, are there any engineers in the crowd today? A couple, okay, cool. So yeah, you'll see, kind of recognize some of these things. This is simulation software to evaluate the strength of our chassis and the effectiveness of our aero kit. So that picture on the bottom is kind of visualizing how the air is flowing around our car as we're driving, so we can better understand how to design those components, things like that. But you can see we use a lot of different softwares, things like that, across the different subsystems. Those softwares I showed there are only a few of the suite that we use. And yeah, all of the design work is only part of it too. So that's only in the fall. Then in the spring, we're going into more manufacturing, testing. We really cover all of our bases there. The same engineers that are designing components are manufacturing them, so they get to learn just how hard to manufacture the things they designed were, which is a really important thing for engineers to learn, manufacturability. So yeah, it really covers all the bases of rapid manufacturing and rapid development. You want to take that?
Yeah. So within funding, we have 80% of our monetary budget is within materials and software that is provided to us. Materials is a really big thing. A lot of times we call sponsors and they're a lot more willing to give us parts and things for our car rather than just straight cash because they know where it's going. As well as software. We use SolidWorks and we run simulations with this supercomputer. So there's a lot of money that goes into that, and it is very generously given to us by companies and through the university as well. And then we have about 10 to 20,000 that'll come in every year that is just straight cash donation as well, which really, really helps when we're going to events and doing outreach things that cost a lot of money to get our car places. So that really helps, especially with parts as well. Some companies don't give us parts, so it's really useful to be able to just buy those things as well.
Yeah, I believe last year we spent about $10,000 alone on hotels and transportation. So just that, raising that budget would be huge because it allows us to go to more high schools. We want to plan a trip to Cedar Rapids next year and visit as many high schools there as possible, as well as some sponsors. So material helps, that's a really great thing, but there's some things that only cash can get us as well. So everything around is, well, yeah, everything that we get donated is going to a very good use. We try to use everything as effectively as possible. In terms of the car, here we have a few stats for you guys. If anybody here is into like F1 or different motorsport racing, there is no minimum weight for this car, which is very interesting because it means we can really go insane with the design, making it as light as possible as long as it passes tech and is strong. We have 4 wheels, of course. A few things that you see listed there, those are most of the purchase components. Almost everything else we manufacture ourselves. So yeah, a few different key factors of our car, like interesting things. We have a carbon fiber chassis, basically. So that's a really advanced piece of manufacturing that not many teams get to do, and very few students ever get to work with carbon fiber manufacturing, which is something we do a lot of, which is a really cool thing. So we're really getting into those advanced manufacturing techniques. Yeah, we have some photos for you guys to see as well. These are renders of our car. So everything is designed in CAD before we ever make a single component. So these are all just renders of our car in a computer.
Yes, so with our competition, this is the competition that is at Michigan International Speedway every year. There are 7 events that we participate in. 3 are static, 4 are dynamic. The static ones are our business presentation, design presentation, and our cost report. So these really dive into how we design the car, why we design the car, how much it costs, how many hours, things like that. And then our business presentation is actually something different. That is what I've been working on with the business team. And they give us a new prompt every year as if we are an actual business team. So this year we had to make a proposed idea of a switch from gasoline to a different, cleaner version of a car. And we have to give that Friday. So I'm very excited about that. And then there are 4 dynamic events. So Excel, which is basically just a drag race. Skid Pad, where our car goes in circles and sees how it handles those types of things. Autocross, which is there's cones set up with a course, and its fastest lap time wins. If you hit a cone, it's a 2-second deduction. So that is a very big one worth 125 points. But our biggest is endurance, which is worth 375 points, which is an autocross course looped back into itself with other cars out there on the course at the same time. So if you can get it through this 22-kilometer race, it's a really big deal because this is the last event of the week. It takes a lot of stress on the car, and most cars don't pass this. So it's a big goal to be able to pass this every year.
So a little bit about what we did last year and what we hope to do this year. Last year we took 51st place. We were looking really promising, except we had a little mishap in endurance. Our steering column support shattered, so working on it. We've got a new idea this year. This year we hope to really win. So our car is an iteration of a few years now, and it's really been whittled down to the purest form possible, we think, and we think we have a really good shot at winning this year. So yeah, looking at the future, if you want to go into that.
So this is actually our last year of doing an internal combustion engine. So CR29 will be next year, and we will have an electric powertrain. There's going to be a lot of new challenges with this, and we're really hoping for some great success with it. There's going to be a big boost in power and a lower center of mass, but the car itself is going to be really cool. I know there's a lot of engineers that aren't really excited about it on our team that are on powertrain right now and have to switch to electric, but it's going to be a really great learning experience for them because, I mean, the world that we're in right now is switching towards cleaner energy. So this is going to be a really great experience for our team, really good experience for our members, and we're really excited to see what we can do within that competition.
So yeah, thank you guys. If there's any questions about things, we're happy to gush about the car for as long as possible. Yeah.
What are your majors?
Majors? I'm a mechanical engineer, and Ella?
I'm a math major, actually. I want to be an actuary, so this was just something I did for fun.
Yeah.
Hi, Glenn Ripke. First of all, how many drivers do you have? And then the second question is, what kind of safety standards do you have to apply with?
Yeah, so we have 4 drivers for competition. We draw those from around our club. We look for a lot of talent and a lot of commitment to the club. All of our engineers have been extremely dedicated, putting in hours and hours per week, working on different parts of the car. We have a few that are really, really qualified this year. One of them is a solo nationals champion for SCCA autocross. So that's kind of how we choose our drivers. In terms of safety gear, we're always trying to exercise the greatest safety standards possible. We have testing day procedures, and our racers are always wearing full fire suits, certified helmets, like certified boots. We have a 6-point racing harness, and our entire car is manufactured to the specs provided and required in our competition. So when we get to competition, our entire car has a very detailed technical inspection where they look over every single, like the smallest details possible and try to find any possible flaws or things like that. In the nose cone as well, you can't see it, but there's an impact attenuator there. So if we do, heaven forbid, have like a front impact, it would absorb that impact and keep our drivers safer. So there's a lot of thought that goes into the safety of these vehicles in basically every aspect of them. That's the coolest thing I like about our rulebook is that you can do almost anything you want to as long as it's safe and as long as you prove it's safe. As far as people making a custom block V8 engine for their car one year. So
Carl Byrne. Does this meet your capstone design credit requirement?
It can, but it doesn't always. We have people from all majors and all years as well. So we have people from freshman year up to senior year. Sometimes people do choose to make their capstone project part of this team. I don't believe we have any on this car, but 2 years ago we had a custom intake that was our senior design project.
What scale is this car?
I'm not sure what scale exactly you could say. It has a 60-inch wheelbase front to back, so it's maybe twice the size of a go-kart, if you think about it like that. They're in some like weird middle ground, maybe half the size of a full car, but twice the size of a go-kart. Yeah.
Are these scale of cars raced anywhere in the world?
Yeah, all around the world. So there's...
What are they called?
Formula SAE.
Say again?
Formula SAE. So it's like Formula One. In Germany, it's called Formula Student. Across Europe, it's called Formula Student. We have teams all across the US in every state, all across Europe too, in Germany, Spain, in Japan as well, all across the world. It's probably the world's largest engineering competition and project management competition.
Thank you.
I just want to say, as a Tesla owner, I don't think I've ever had an internal combustion engine car that accelerates as fast as my Tesla.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to enjoy moving to electric.
These cars are scary fast. One fun fact for you guys is the fastest 0 to 60 time for any electric car is actually held by a Formula Student team. In Switzerland, they made a car. It's not rules illegal. They went way above and beyond. But it weighs 309 pounds and makes 322 horsepower with an all-wheel drive, fully custom system, doing 0 to 60 in less than 1 second. So it's a roller coaster on wheels. I don't even know. I think it's 3 Gs or more. It's extremely fast. That car is a real marvel. There's some YouTube videos about it. I highly encourage you guys to find that too. Yeah.
I have 2 questions.
Sure.
Number 1 is how many members from SWE is in your competition team? I mean your project team. And number 2.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
No, you guys should take one.
Number 2 is, do you have regular engineering faculty member as your advisor, or you get advice from the industry? Thank you.
Yeah, we actually have 2 members of SWE on our team, and we're definitely looking to get more. We're planning some more WISE events, and we had an event with SWE this past semester. So hoping to get some more involved with that. That is Society of Women Engineers, for anybody that does not know. And then we have an academic advisor that helps us, and she kind of really just stays out of it for the most part. She kind of lets us do our own thing. She's really great, but she also does make sure that we're being safe, and we text her when we leave and when we get back. She's very much on top of that, so she's great.
Yeah, our faculty advisor is more our middleman between the university, so she helps us with a lot of that bureaucracy and stuff that universities are so great at. In terms of engineering support, it's really mostly us. We do design reviews with past alumni. We've been around for 30 years now, so we have a lot of those. And we do some industry talks, but almost all of the engineering is it's all us. We kind of get feedback from different people, but the core design of it is really all our work. So, yeah.
Can you identify what WISE is?
WISE.
Yeah, WISE is Women in Science and Engineering.
It used to stand for Society of Automotive Engineers. They've dropped that and they just call it SAE now. It's the governing body that defines almost all standards for automotive, like automotive uses and things like that. You'll see it everywhere in automotive.
I think I saw in your specifications that the design maximum is 450 pounds. Is that correct?
So somewhere in here we have it. Right. Right there, yeah. So there's actually no minimum weight for this car, which is the most exciting thing about it. The 450 pounds you see there is our estimated weight for this year's car. That is right around where most cars are. It's very competitive. But yeah, there's no actual minimum weight. So if you made a 300-pound car, you can do that as long as you prove it's safe.
That is impressive.
Thank you.
I think the car I drive is around 4,000 or 4,500 pounds.
Yeah.
About 10 times that.
Yeah, so
Quite
imagine
amazing.
a car.
So is this car ready to go? Is it built?
Yes, yeah.
Can it be viewed somewhere?
Yeah, so we are always in the Student Innovation Center. That's where our shop is located. We're also we have testing sessions every weekend, pretty much. So if you hang around the right parking lot at the right time, you'll see us ripping around. Yeah, we like to do kind of a more community-focused testing day too, but we're always in the Student Innovation Center in the basement there. That's where we're based. You know, we might have to sign some waivers, but we could look into it.
All right, if there's any more questions, you guys, are you willing to stick around for the meeting, or do you have to get to your next? Okay, thank you, Ella and Eric. Give them a hand. They'll be available if there's any more questions.
Awesome. Okay, well, I get to introduce Sheila. I'm going to make it kind of quick since we're having great things to talk about today. Sheila is the director of the Ames Public Library, coming up on 5 years that she's been here in Ames, and she's been in libraries for 28 years. Before she returned to her home state of Iowa, she lived in Brooklyn, New York, and worked at the Brooklyn Public Library, where she oversaw their network of 58 neighborhood library branches. She lives in downtown Ames now with her husband, Nathan, and 3 cute cats. Please welcome Sheila.
Thank you, everyone. We have had a packed day, and I think maybe some of our STEM programs or robotic clubs will be growing those next Formula SAE drivers. But it's a nice time to be talking to you about libraries. We just celebrated National Library Week last week, so libraries across the country celebrated, and we marked the occasion with a special proclamation from Mayor Hala at the City Council. It's also our Ames Public Library Friends Foundation just sent out a spring mailing to update our members of what's going on and how they might support us, so you're probably seeing that in your mail. Next week is National Volunteer Week, so we have a special reception planned on April 24th. I think we probably have several volunteers here in the room who volunteer for the library. Our volunteers are super special to us. We simply would not be the library we are without our volunteers and without our Friends Foundation support. And we think we play a pretty critical role in their lives by offering them a meaningful way to connect and really feel like they're contributing to their community. So about 100 of those volunteers are our youth volunteers. And they help with a lot of summer programming. There's a nice mentorship because we have some teens who come back year after year. But they're critical to our summer meals program. So you'll see the picture on the right there is our summer meals. We offer it in conjunction a lot of times with programming that's either happening before or after. So sometimes we get big crowds. So there's a whole room full of people enjoying that, and we couldn't do it without our volunteers. We're lucky, though, that the city gives us a good budget. So as remarkable as our volunteers are and as reliant as we are on our Friends Foundation for support, we simply wouldn't be that library without our Friends Foundation. I think they make what is a good library great. But we're lucky we also have a good city budget, and we hope that continues. You know, it's ironic that today's tax day because there's been some recent legislation that made it a little more difficult for the city to raise taxes or to get that revenue. And we're funded from that general fund. So that's police, fire, parks, libraries. So we hope that continues. So keep that in mind. What's all this look like on a daily basis? Here's by the numbers. So we check out nearly just under 1 million books last year. That's almost 2,770 a day, and that's just books checked out. There's books coming back in, books being shelved, books being pulled for hold, so it's a busy, vibrant place. We had 317,000 visitors. That's about 26,000 a month, just under 1,000 a day. So your library is hopping. There's over 46,700 people either attended or viewed 2,190 library events. So there's a lot going on. And how does it all start? It's when you walk through our doors, which we're open 70 hours, 7 days a week. So you get a lot of bang for your buck. And you're greeted by our fabulous staff. As a service profession, our friendly, well-trained staff are one of our biggest single assets, and they're absolutely critical to the work we provide. And what do they help you with? They help you with community responsive collections. So you see we're amping up our world languages. We have graphic novels and manga. You'll see the quick picks there. So that's pro tip. If you are on a holds list, you'll want to pop up on our second floor with our new books and check out the quick pick section, because that's where you can find books that are popular or you might be on a holds list for. And if it's your lucky day, that book might be there waiting for you and you can jump in and grab it then. But we also have downloadable ebooks, audio, and video. And while print is absolutely not going away, I get asked that a lot, it is not going away, downloadable and e-content is increasing in popularity, especially e-audiobooks, we find. So what else? There's also resources online, so I'd encourage you to take advantage of this. Sometimes it's one of our, I'd say, hidden gems, but in this day and age, getting quality news sources, so there's the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, those are free with your library card. There's language learning software, there's consumer reports, the People's Law Library, if you need to get forms, a lot of people use that. There's Value Line, if you're checking your stocks, a lot of people use that. And I know we have a lot of nonprofits in the room. There's the Foundation Directory online that can help you get grants or identify foundations who might support you. There's also learning tools for kids. Our Help Now BrainFuse is free online tutoring for kids. So it actually goes up through college students. So our college students, they'll proofread a paper for you in advance if you want them to. A lot of people use them for math homework. You can connect with a tutor on a whiteboard and they'll do formulas with you. So it's a great service. There's also like a read-along, book flicks, so all kinds of great stuff. One thing we try, this 12 to Try is one of our initiatives that kind of pushes you to read outside your usual books. So that's a reading challenge. We've heard a lot of great feedback on that. People have really appreciated it. They're like, I kind of get in a rut reading the same things over and over, and I've really gotten turned on to some new genres, new authors. So I encourage you to do that. We've got book showcases, like those books along the bottom. Those are peppered throughout our website, on our catalog, to help you with reading recommendations. We're also trying to reach new audiences that way, so we do book talks of those books and have put those on social media, on our YouTube page, so they're kind of fun. I'm always so impressed by the Reader's Advisory of our library staff. But this is another one of those hidden gems or pro tips, personalized picks. So if there's books, I've read everything by that author, I'm kind of in a rut, it's an online form, you can put what you like, what you don't like, a setting you like, maybe what you don't like, and they'll come up with a personalized book list just for you. And while Amazon algorithms are okay, expert picks are even better, so I encourage you to try that out. But we're beyond books. You know, this gorgeous weather, you can check out our park packs. Those are kits and like butterfly nets and little samples for ponds and things like that. So activities, we made these along with Story County conservation educators, and they check out. So it's a great way to get out and explore nature with young people. We have tablets that are preloaded, so if you got car trips coming up, that'll be a good thing to check out ahead of time. There's special collections. We have STEM kits to get them early before they're making cars in college. Get them excited early with some STEM kits. There's adventure passes. That's another pro tip. If you want to check out passes to places like Ryman Gardens, Blank Park Zoo, different attractions in Ames and Central Iowa area, you'll want to check those out. And you'll see there's video games there too. computers and Wi-Fi hotspots, always popular. You see people, I think I've seen a few of you use our space for, to do some work, just kind of break it up. Our youth services is kind of a destination area. We really encourage that early literacy learning environment, and our parents and caregivers really love being able to connect with others. One feature you'll see coming up soon, if you've been in lately, you might see there's a little coming soon stanchion because we're getting a new play space. So that's funded by our generous community through our Friends Foundation, and we are really excited for it, as are our caregivers and kids. This is one of 9 story times that happen every week. That's a lot. Ben has his guitar there. He's one of our, I'd say he's a favorite. He's got a little fan following, but he does a great job. And then there's other events. We take this on the road. We take our story times on the road. We go to close to 95 daycares and preschools and home daycares. So we take out a story time. We rotate books to them monthly. That's also funded by our Friends Foundation, but what a huge reach. And you'll see the kids are coming in now. They have a tour then at the library. So if you're throughout April, I'll say, you'll see kids in little orange t-shirts, walking around waiting for the bus. They are so adorable. They'll get a surprise visit sometimes from Smiles the dog, or they'll be touring our back area. It's adorable. But we also take our show on the road. This is just a snapshot of us at the ice arena. We call them our destination story times. And we're partnering for student success all the time. So there's a robotics club that we did a team photon, I think, with a high school. And then there's a battle of the books. So that's kind of a trivia Olympics for books. And if you were in the library on a Thursday of the past few weeks, and you were wondering, why is the parking lot so packed? This is why, because all kinds of families come out to support their kids as they battle for the books. Our teen space is critical. We're that third place in the community, that welcoming space for young people to be able to, come and connect, play games, just enjoy a space. We have our teen advisory group. They help plan a lot of our programs. You'll see they do themed escape rooms. They're getting ready to pick some summer reading programs, some paid performers, and they do all the legwork, learn about writing contracts and reaching out and making arrangements for presenters. But there's stuff for adults too. Our Idea Center, I have some flyers on the tables for you. That is a new space, so it allows you to digitize your memories, basically. So if you have VHS, cassette tapes, or microcassettes, we have special software that you can convert that to a digital format. And there's also a station, that's at one station. At another station is a professional grade scanner that has, you can convert slides or old photographs, and specialty software. They're all on Macs, and they all have the Adobe Creative Suite. So if you have a need for that, that's why we called it the Idea Center instead of our original Memory Center, because you can get creative using those creative tools, even if you're not preserving memories. We also connect with our most vulnerable patrons. So we partner with the Bridge Home, Access, Community and Family Services to connect people. Instead of just making a referral and they have to go to another agency, we let these people these agencies do hours in the library. And the most recent one is Aging Resources of Central Iowa, so they're gonna be coming every month. So just a way, just to remove a barrier, let you connect with those resources right there in our space. And we're building community. So community-led events, you'll see up here is the snapshot from a Repair Cafe. So there is a Repair Cafe coming up on Saturday, April 27th. We're getting it into that busy time of year, but so their stations, they'll help you repair small appliances, jewelry, computers. There'll be clothing. I've taken some stuff in to be sewn and repaired. But they'll have the outside section too that has bike repair and lawnmowers, so they'll do almost anything. And this is a group of really dedicated community volunteers who come out and do this, and they'll kind of teach you as they go. So great program to check out. They also, some on that group overlap with a group that we're working with, and they've created a seed library. So because the 27th in celebration of Earth Day, there'll be some seed giveaways, probably some tree giveaways, and some related programming on soil and composting. So you don't want to miss the 27th. That'll be a great day. But we're also doing civic engagement. That's one of our key pieces of our strategic plan. And so we've done things to, like how to get on board, on boards and commissions. You know, we serve as a voting site. This one is a presentation on local news and the importance of that, because that's getting a little scary, the lack of local news. So there's just to raise awareness, to help you engage with your community and understand your government a little bit better. It's a meeting and gathering space. I know a lot of you hold your club meetings there, your different groups that you're part of, but this is a session on mental health first aid. And I will testify, if you haven't, you go ahead and sign up for that, because it's an amazing program and really makes an impact. So we always get a good draw when we do that. There's a conversation groups. Those are where you can speak English or other languages. So we have Russian, Spanish, French and German right now. We hope to get another Chinese. We lost our volunteer. But we've activated our lobby space by partnering with the Octagon, Ames High School, Ames History Museum to do different community exhibits and kind of amplify that space. Our bookmobile goes out. You'll start seeing them at the farmers market coming up. They hit Iowa State. They hit regular schools and different stops. In the summer, they're doing story times in the park. So we're guided by community. You know, all this is driven by our strategic plan that we did several years ago, and it's really shaped the work we do. And it's super exciting because we are in the process of doing our strategic planning again right now as we speak. So we already sent out a survey that went to thousands of our members, got posted online, and we're compiling all the results from that. We've done some feedback with staff, with volunteers. We're doing it with our board this week, but we have community engagement set up. So we have some focus groups. So some of you might have been invited to that. We already did educators last week. We're doing nonprofits and social service providers today. And then we have community stakeholders and arts and culture coming up. So those are targeted ones, but there's ones for you to get involved. We have open community input sessions, so take a note of those dates. This Thursday we'll be at Iowa State to kind of capture that audience, but we'll have two at the library, one on a Saturday, one in an evening, so that's Saturday, May 4th. That's also the first day of the farmers market, so you're gonna be downtown anyway. So check out the farmers market, pop in and talk to our staff, share your ideas of what you wanna see your library do, how you think we can make more of an impact in the community. And then we'll be at the farmers market on Saturday, May 25th too. So did I whip that through in time? We had a packed day. All right.
I think it's on. We may have time for one or two questions, and then if there's any more, Sheila, do you have a few minutes to hang out after the fact? If you do, any questions?
I covered it all.
I have that was a lot. I'm impressed. How many full-time, part-time staff do you have to pull all that off?
We have the equivalent of we have 70 staff, but it's probably a full-time equivalent of about 38.
Some libraries are having problems with homeless and mental health people, in their facilities, or kids unsupervised. How does Ames treat all that if that's an issue?
We are welcome to all, and we do see some people experiencing homelessness who use our library regularly. They are our regular patrons. They're part of our community. We do, because we partner with a Bridge Home and other social services, we're able to kind of help them connect. So oftentimes they're meeting with, their caseworker or kind of using the computers. So we're a welcome space. We have a code of conduct, and anyone who doesn't follow that, we address, but we're a safe, welcoming space for our entire community.
All right, and there went that. Great presentations today, and certainly, as we're sponsors of Raising Readers, in the spirit of your presentation, certainly want to have you sign one of these books that will be given to a 2-year-old at their well child check. If you didn't hear it the other 2 times, today is tax day, okay? Get those filed. You don't want to get the nasty gram from the IRS. So with that, let's go ahead and close, and join me as we recite the 4-way test. Of the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?